Hey Gemini, happy 1st of September. This is a general reading for um, uh, Geminis for the first 2 weeks of September 2020. That would be September 1st through the 15th. And again, this is a general reading. We're looking at overall energy during this time frame for our Geminis. And keep in mind that the reading may not resonate with everybody. It's really more a general readings for the larger collective of Geminis. And also, you may want to look at your sun rising signs. And sometimes, if you're involved with a significant other, the card could be reversed if there's someone particularly involved. But again, it's a general reading, so thank you very much for clicking on my channel of As I See You Tarot. And if you would, I'd like to put a plug in to please do the big three. Click on the subscribe, the like the video button, and the notification buttons. They are all important to the YouTube algorithms, and appreciate your support. So Gemini, I've already flipped the mix up the cards here and asked the spirit guides to give us some guidance on the cards as they've come out for this 2-week period, and that was to save time. So here we have in our order here, this first card over here, this is going to be our past influence. So this is past influence that has to do anytime within the last 3 to 6 months of key issues. And the influence basically is when you go from your past, how's it carrying over to your present. So the second card is your present sort of immediate time frame in here, what's going on for the period of the card reading. And then our third card is our future, again for this time frame around the reading and the dates that we're looking for. And the fourth card are our challenges, and again, challenges do not mean that they will happen. It's just that they could happen, and it's just to be aware of it. And if you start feeling you're going in that direction, you can nip it in the bud. And then our fifth card here is going to be our outcomes of any of these sort of overall energy things that may be coming up for you. So we're going to start here. We have our first ace. So interesting. This is a little glare there. So the ace here, you got the Ace of Pentacles. So this represents, for Geminis in your past influences, perhaps many Geminis were going through some sort of new beginning, or went through some new opportunities, or had some potential. This is usually what this card picks up when it comes in place. And since this is the past influence, some Geminis may have been dealing with that. The new beginnings correlate with the material world of usually finances, wealth, career, the physical health, and anything that you were manifesting as far as goals that Gemini had. Perhaps some Geminis received a new job offer, or might have gotten some money that was unexpected. A new business or investment opportunity may have come up. Some Geminis may have just had a new idea that came to fruition all of a sudden, and sparked a new sort of energy of something that you wanted to do. It doesn't, no matter the occasion, the Ace of Pentacles here in your past demonstrate there's some sort of sense of prosperity as measured by abundance, and in the material and sort of the financial areas of your life, Gemini. And I'm sure if for those who, again, abundance and wealth is all in the eye of the beholder. You can have good friends, and they can consider that to be, your wealth, and feel valued, basically. So it just sort of depends. It doesn't tell me that part. So also the Ace of Pentacles for some Geminis, it just tells me that they were sort of given a green light. And again, if perhaps you were identifying goals that you wanted to work on, or things you wanted to let go and sort of change, you probably, this tells me that many Geminis were doing that in this last few months here, making those changes. Some of the changes may still be in process, but they were at least initiated or had thoughts about them. The Ace of Pentacles encouraged, hopefully, that Geminis were mapping out what they wanted to do and sort of have a plan, and that was the whole idea. It's sort of manifest of where you want to go and what do you want to do, and go from there. So, oops, I'm moving my hand around here. And, what else? Again, because the Ace of Pentacles is typically symbolized with wealth, but it's not just about your bank account sort of wealth. This, for some Geminis, there could have been sort of holistic sense of wealth. Perhaps, you wanted to, some Geminis were wanting to discover sort of a new source of income or receive a financial gift or windfall. Those are all the major sort of things that come from this. But perhaps you had to, some Geminis created wealth in a broader sense. You were looking for sort of happiness, fulfillment, a potential, and a love. The Ace here is the card of abundance, and in all areas of your life. So it could have been in any particular area. And for many Geminis, the idea is perhaps with something in this past influence that you felt blessed and that you were deserving of it, and that's card was saying that you were deserving of it. And remember, it focused you on the laws of attraction. If you think positive thoughts come to you. So that was the past. Now, our present, we have the Eight of Cups. So I got a glare there, folks. Sorry. So here we have the Eight of Cups. Now we typically know that this card is very interesting in your present, because typically this card says you've walked away from something that was disappointing, or some sort of incident or some sort of situation. It could have been an argument. It could have been anything that may have triggered some sort of disagreement in either your work or personal or family or whatever else sort of situation. But it's basically that it's telling me that some Geminis are not feeling very fulfilled right this minute. It's either in your relationship, you're questioning it, in your job, your career, your living arrangement, or anything that perhaps you had some positive energy going towards. Some Geminis, this is telling me, are probably wanting to reevaluate that for some. You're sort of wanting to know what your source of happiness is, and this one is telling me that you need to invest in yourself emotionally, and if you did, perhaps that you got disappointment. Because it didn't. That's it. It's telling me there might have been disappointment because expectations that. Yeah, this is clarifying it. There were some Geminis had too high of expectations, so that's where I'm getting the disappointment from. Interesting. But anyway, of all that sort of disappointment, some Geminis are still reassessing. Are you getting what you want? Are you getting the best out of whatever situation that you're in, or whatever the option is? And what this card basically is saying now is that if that's what you're feeling, you have to let it go, and in order to do that, you have to move on. And this is about releasing any hurts, releasing any sadness, releasing any anger, releasing whatever. Even if you were in the right, this card is about releasing it and letting go. Because if you don't, Gemini, you're going to stay stuck, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So this is a reminder of, yes, disappointments happen. Yes, it could have been, nothing had to do with your fault. It could have been your fault, but perhaps I'm getting more of a feeling it may not have been related to you. But this card is saying if you hang on to sort of the victim mentality, this is going to drag on for you. It's time to let it go. So, yeah. So, what else? The card is telling me something's missing. That for Geminis, you're either missing some sort of emotional or spiritual level, and perhaps, that there's some Geminis are wanting to leave an unfulfilling situation in some degree. It could be small. It could be big. I don't know, how that fits in there, but it's just about leaving something that's unfulfilling to Geminis, and I'm getting it's like, I think there's going to be, and I think people around you might be questioning this, because on appearances, it looks like you have everything that you wished for, but deep down, I'm getting the feeling, or this card is basically coming up with, that some Geminis are not, perhaps you don't know it's serving your highest good. And if something that you're doing or something that you were involved in is not serving your highest good, this card is giving you an opportunity to let it go and to move on to something else. The the Eight of Cups here can be a sign, of that you're trying to escape a problematic emotional situation, or you're avoiding some sort of major psychological issues or concerns, or a situation that you're avoiding, something a situation that you're not happy in. It could be work, a relationship, family member, whoever. The cups, when you look at the cups in this card, they're talking about, or they're representing the emotional issues that remain real and present in your life, Gemini. And in this card, it looks like they're trying to pretend that they're not there, or they're refusing to deal with them. And this is about sort of wanting to repress emotions, or refuse to have an open conversation, or sort of just look the other way, and sort of not deal with whatever the situation might be that you're having, and pretend everything's okay. Bottom line, it's about avoiding. So the Eight of Cups here, if that's what is resonating with some Geminis, this Eight of Cups invites you to ask yourself, what brings you joy, contentment, and fulfillment. What's on the deeper level, and it's giving you an opportunity to say, what are my interests, and what are my goals, and maybe I was doing this, and now I need to do something different. This is an opportunity to sort of put everything on the table and look at what makes you happy. So yeah, and I guess this is the same for some Geminis. Might be in a long-term relationship. Maybe you thought that's what you wanted, and now you don't want it. Or you got that job that was going to be great, and now the job isn't so great. So again, it's just something's unsettled. This card is about something in you being unsettled, but the point of this card is that if something is unsettling, you need to bring it forward, and you need to address it, release it, and let it go, or it's going to get fester and get bigger. So this is about, if you do that, letting it go, and dealing with it, you're going to get a true happiness, and you're going to be realigned with your goals and your values, and that's going to come. But it's not going to come until you sort of deal with this issue and not avoid it. Oops, put that over here. Now, in our immediate future, we have another cups. So in our immediate future, we have the Two of Cups. Now, so we know that, here it goes. Now we have love here. This card is basically about experiencing some sort of a love between two people. This is the primary purpose of this card. It's about creating deep connections and partnerships based on shared values. It's about unconditional love and having some sort of compassion. This is about relationships that are in early stages, and a potential to grow and develop into something more fulfilling and perhaps better in the long term. Grow better over the long term. It's saying that in this particular card, that for Geminis who have met somebody or in the early stages of a relationship, there's this feeling that you've known this person, that there's a mutual respect and appreciation, and you're sort of just fitting together really nice, and that's great. So Geminis, when the Two of Cups is here, it also can signify that you're wanting, or you were entering a new partnership or relationship, some sort of you're entering something with somebody else, and it could be perhaps a business partner or a romantic partner. It's this is going to be where both of you are creating a relationship that's mutually beneficial to both of you. It's a win-win situation. You see things eye to eye, and you appreciate each other, and everything's on the table. For those that this is about romantic relationships specifically, this shows basically it's a blossoming sort of union, and it's based on mutual attraction. It's physical and a soul connection, and it leaves you giddy and weak at the knees, and brings out the best in each of you. It's a good fit. This is about, you found someone who's a good fit for you at even higher levels of potential. The exchange of emotions heartfelt, and you're going to both be willing to do whatever it takes to support each other. And so this is a very nice relationship. And if you're already in a relationship, then you might be finding one in the early stage. But again, it's in the early stages of relationships here. Interesting. If it's business, if it's not romantic, and for some Geminis is more relating to a business partnership, the Two of Cups is a sign that both of you are on the same wavelength. There may not be romance, but it's, again, you have a connection. You found somebody who understands what your vision is, or there's something that you want to create together, and it's a good match. You have the same skills as each other, or you balance it. The sort of the yin and the yang of your skills and sort of creative ideas. There's a synergy here, and you work together well. So yeah, that's very good. It could be very much a good partnership that's built on trust and harmony and mutual respect. And this card is basically saying that you're going to succeed as you continue to communicate with one another. So, and that's the same going to be within the romantic relationship. It is about good open communication. So yeah, this very nice. Now in our challenges, we have what do we have? The Lovers. What is this? Yes. Huh. Now, interesting. You have the Lovers card, but it's come up in the reverse position. So, Gemini, let's see. Why is this coming up in reverse? Spirit guides, why is this coming up in reverse? Well, we know the Lovers card is about pure love and harmony, and we saw over here that perhaps there's someone might be getting a new relationship, or there's communication in a new relationship. There's new matches. There's a balance in that yin and yang, and when this card is in the upright position, it's about pure love and harmony. However, when it comes in the reverse position, it signals sort of there's a time that you might be out of sync with those around you. It's particularly loved ones. So if this may be resonating with some Geminis that you're feeling out of sync, and this may go back to sort of this back here of the Ace of Pentacles, that if you were out of sync in your past and you knew you needed to change, perhaps this is coming up here a little bit, or something's bringing back up about feeling out of sync or unfinished business. It's for some Geminis, you may find some, not all, some relationships may be strained, or communication is a little bit more challenging than it should be. You're not on the same page, basically. You're not perhaps sharing the same values. It could be at work, friends, or a group that you're in. So if so, when this happens, this is saying basically come back to the reason that you have this person in your life, and come back to the reason why their job is in your life, or why you volunteered for this group, or whatever the situation is that you're feeling unsettled back. This card is basically is asking you, Gemini, to do a reassessment. So stop, sort of just take a pause and then ask yourself, what is it that drew you to whatever it was in the first place? Why were you interested in it? And sort of, go from there and do that self-assessment there. It's perhaps it'll sort of trigger something of that, what changed, and you want to identify what changed. So if you're going back to the reason why that person or job or whoever, whatever the situation is unsettling, if it's a relationship, if you love him or her, unconditionally, this is telling you to know in this moment shall pass, and the best you can do is bring your love and compassion to the situation. It's not a life a threatening situation. It doesn't mean anything horrible is going to happen. It just means it's time to sort of communicate a little bit better, I guess, or clarify. If this is a work relation, it perhaps you're just grown apart and it's time to move on. If the relationship continues to be sort of peppered with arguments, and there's a lack of respect for one another, and that you're short tempers, and even if this is at work, whether just things aren't clashing or things just aren't doing very well, and no one's ever happy, this is about time to let go, or honor yourself and do what's best for both of you, whether it's work or a relationship. That if you're unhappy and it's not going to change, then do something about it, is what this card is doing. The Lovers reversed here, Gemini, reflects on the feelings within a relationship that are not mutual. That's really what this card is all about, and this is about one person maybe more emotionally involved than the other, and this gap could lead to sort of disappointment and insecurity insecurity, and perhaps it's surfacing on some level. And Gemini, you may be reluctant to open your heart and to the relationship for fear of getting hurt. Perhaps you're not totally invested, and it's a chance to sort of to look into it, or you're not invested in the job because your heart's not there. The reverse levels, lovers also speaks to self-love and respect, and some Geminis, to the extent that you are, that you honor and respect yourself of who you are and who you value. How are you feeling about this? Perhaps you're doing some sort of work that goes against your own personal values or your own personal integrity, and that's could be unsettling. Be mindful, though, Gemini, that if you look at other people in which they were more like you, understand this is really critical. Understand that if you can recognize the traits in others, it's because you have them within you. So this is also a good point to bring up the laws of attraction. So if you feel that someone is untrustworthy, or you're suspicious about something, or you're focusing about some sort of trait, keep in mind that could be projection in some way. So this card is asking you to sort of, again, do that self-assessment to see if it's something that you're perceiving, or is it just something that you're unhappy and that's unsettling within you. So when we sort of admire qualities in other people, keep in mind that the universe is going to do something to wake you up. And this is, if you're feeling negative or feeling sad, feeling unsettling, then unsettling things are going to happen and be brought to you. You're putting that energy out to the universe, and it's going to come to you. So it's about sitting down and re-looking at what it is that you're wanting. Find your happy spot, focus on the small things that are happy, and let it build and get your vibration feeling good, and until you can change the situation. But if the more you focus on the unsettling or unhappy or disappointment, even the slightest thoughts about it, the universe is picking up on that and is going to deliver it to you. So laws of attraction is critically important here. Change your thought, be happy, look at things to be happy about. So if these are sort of if these are sort of inner conflicts, this is about getting you're feeling sort of in a disharmony. This is in struggling to balance your inner union. Well, this perhaps is, and perhaps some Geminis might have been pushing themselves too hard, or considered doing above and beyond, and you don't think you'll get anything out of it. This is again a chance to focus on articulating, Gemini, your personal belief systems and values. If you have to write it down and sort of get your thoughts together, do. If you have to share it with somebody, this card is about guiding you to make better decisions next time. And once you do that, you want to return to the energy, and seek the counsel and advice of an institution or a spiritual member, someone to sort of help you to sort of get back on track if that's what you need, or a dear friend, someone you trust, and you'll be fine. You will get through this. This is just a hurdle, and this card is saying, but if you don't effectively deal with it, it's going to fester to something bigger, and so let it go. In our outcomes, we have oh my gosh, you have it right next to you, is the Hierophant. This is interesting because the Hierophant, here we go, this is a card that is established spiritual values, and it's about belief systems, and it's often correlated with religion and formal doctrines. Before you can sort of discover your own belief systems, Gemini, you have to make choices about what you want, and this card is encouraging you to sort of look at the fundamental principles from a trusted source. If you need, it's saying work with a teacher or a mentor to guide and teach you about whatever spiritual values and spirituals, whatever is up to you, and beliefs in a structured way. And perhaps you're wanting more information about it, more in-depth information about it, because it's on your mind here. You're wanting more of the principles, and this is basically saying, seek people out to help you with those, with that information, or go investigate it, go to the library, whatever, internet search, and perhaps you might take some sort of formal study to learn about it a little bit more, because it's something that's just sparked an interest in you. on the other hand, if there's are Geminis who have mastered those sort of spiritual awakenings or whatever that you have a belief in, it's an opportunity then perhaps that you're going to be mentoring somebody, or someone's coming to you so that you can sort of help them through the process. It's again sort of a yin and yang depending on where you are, and and perhaps you're feeling a responsibility to share the knowledge in a structured way or informal way to someone who's of interest, and it's going to be very good if you do that. This card's arrival here is following a convention of and saying stay within the tried and true model. So whatever that you're doing, and if it's working, this is saying keep to the same model. Don't go out and try to do something, reinvent the wheel, so to speak, Gemini. This is about staying into tried and true models, and you will be fine. You'll get everything that you need to know from it. You'll be able to share anything, and you don't have to do anything more with it. You're going to get a very successful result because the model works. This card also for some Geminis may come up with honoring some family traditions, perhaps that have been sort of put on hold, or you haven't attended in the past. You may be asked to sort of commit to a spiritual practice, or make some sort of presentation at a family reunion or some kind of gathering or something. It's sort of, even if you do that, it's sort of, stick to the topic and stick to the tried and true rules to whatever that you may be speaking about. In other words, don't get too creative with it. It's about, sort of consider just exploring spiritual and religious heritage, and whatever that means to you. If for those who, are interested in sort of like group memberships, some Virgos may be looking at an institution or a night class or something in here that you sparked your interest, and this card is saying go for it. And again, because you want to be surrounded by people who think the same thing, and you want to be sparked by that energy and have those type of conversations. And this card is saying join it, go do it, you'll get something out of it. And if it means something to you and it makes you happy, then do it. That's the point of this. So this is about identifying with others and sort of a way of thinking that will prompt sort of further learning, and that could be learning about yourself, learning about something else. And those are the immediate ones. So Gemini, again, thank you for coming to my channel of As I See You Tarot, and this was the September 1st through the 15th 2020 general reading. And if it doesn't resonate with everybody, that's perfectly fine, let it go, and enjoy. And I hope again that I ask you to help your support if you will click the big three, which is the subscribe, the like the video, and the notification bell, because that really does help support me and this new modem that I'm going for with YouTube, and I appreciate it. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful first 2 weeks in September, and we'll see you at the end of it. So thank you.